Last year I did a whole bunch of paintings for Painttober, and the Painttober challenge is where you paint every day. It comes from the initial challenge, which was Inktober, and it was to do with drawing or painting or doing anything really where that was creative, where you wanted to either get good at the thing or you wanted to experiment with the thing. So I just like it for the fun of producing something every day and kind of pushing yourself. And in my case, it was intuitive painting, because mostly I have found I paint intuitively anyway. Doesn't matter if it's more abstract or more abstract landscape, it's still quite intuitive. So today I'm just looking at those paintings and thinking about putting some of them in an exhibition. Painttober prompts are usually subjects, and somebody hosting the Painttober, or Inktober actually as it is known widely, they will kind of put out the prompts and then people will respond to those prompts. I always make up my own, and they're always colour prompts. So for instance, this was orange and the other one was purple. Yeah, it's just because I like colour, and all my paintings are quite colour rich. This one was fern, so it's more landscapey because it says fern. And this was chartreuse, so I did get ahead of myself and had some fancy names as well. But these paintings were more structured, I would say. So I did come out of Painttober with 3 distinct categories of painting. One, a structured abstract landscape, which is what these are. Some more abstract, some abstract landscape. So this one is more abstract, I would say, but all have abstract elements to them. And for instance, this one, yeah, you can see a doorway there. That's one of my things. I do like putting doors in things sometimes. And it's that idea of mystery, what's on the other side, and is it a portal to another universe? Anyway, that was one kind of painting that came out of Painttober. The other kind of painting that came out of Painttober were surreal abstract landscapes. So they are abstract landscape, but they have this surreal quality to them, which I rather like. Kind of more darker, perhaps a gothic feel to them, perhaps inspired by Opeth even, and their music. So they were the surreal abstract landscapes, which I really enjoyed and really loved making. The third kind of painting that came out of Painttober were more the graphic landscapes. So they're still abstract, they're still a little bit surreal actually still, I would say, but they are more graphic, and you have more edges, you've got more contrast, there's more tonal contrast going on, there's more mark making and colour. So they're kind of more busy, is why I would call them more graphic, because they're more busy landscapes, and there's a lot to look at and a lot to see and a lot to discover. So these I found quite interesting actually, because normally my underpaintings might be more like this, busy episodes, and then I'll kind of tone them down because I feel they're too busy. But with Painttober, I don't know, it's just one of those things where you have to make something within a time frame. You've got a day, and often you don't have the whole day to make it. We're talking about every single day. So what you do is you get to a point and then you leave it. And that's kind of how it is with intuitive painting anyway. You get to a point and then it's done. And I felt these were done. But also, when I was painting for Painttober, I had in the back of my mind that if something really glares at me later after Painttober, I will go over it. So there are some paintings actually that I will go over, but not these ones. So I'll talk about those in another episode. So these graphic paintings I found quite fun to make, and also because I was working with the idea of a colour prompt, I had to get the colour in there somewhere, and sometimes even if I began with the colour, it got lost with the layers and with the other colour mixing that was going on, and I had to bring it back again. And sometimes I brought it back and sometimes I didn't really bother. So you might find that some of these paintings are called something and they don't really look like the colour they're called, but they might have began as that colour. So I'm selecting 5 paintings to go forward with for an exhibition, and now these 2 paintings, they're a diptych and they're called Pink Landscape, are not part of Painttober. These I painted separately, and they might have been painted at the beginning of the year, actually, not even last year. But I thought these were quite graphic as well. So I'm going down the graphic route of more of a graphic landscape with more accentuated marks. Hazel is going to be part of the selection. Well, I think it will be part of the selection, but this is quite a graphic piece as well. So at the moment I'm just looking at the graphic pieces and putting them together and seeing if they fit and seeing if they go together. Now really they all go together, I expect, but you know when you're trying to put something into an exhibition, you want it to be cohesive, and I think, yeah, I'm looking to make sure that the pieces I put into the exhibition are cohesive, they go with each other. I could put in like a variety, but then, you know, people don't know what you're doing. So this one's called Hazel, and I'm going to change the name up actually as well. This one was called Slate, yeah, and I'll probably change the name up too. I mean, the names will retain, I mean, they'll retain their colour names, so this will still be Slate, but it'll be Slate something like that, and Hazel will be Hazel something or something Hazel. Yeah, because I think it's nicer to give them longer and more interesting names, because they started with the colour prompt but they ended somewhere else, and I think the name has to reflect that end rather. So Poppy Red, which is what this painting is also going into the selection. Now this I think is a definite. I really love this painting. I don't know why, maybe it's the colours, but it's got a lot of really nice graphic detail in there, but it's still quite surreal and it is still quite landscapey, so, and it is still quite abstract, so it's ticking all the boxes for me actually. Yeah, and I do like those colours. I love blue and pink together. And having said that, I do like this kind of greeny colour, greeny blue colour as well. There's quite a lot of green on here, but it's not that kind of, I don't know, that kind of yucky green. It's quite a nice variety of greens here. Now this is not a painting from Painttober, and I haven't named this painting either yet. I did a whole tutorial video on this painting which I have not shared yet, so I might share that in the future, let's see. But I think this is going to be part of the selection because this is quite graphic, but at the same time it's quite landscapey, and it's quite, I don't know, there's something really nice about it. It's quite surreal as well, I feel, so that's ticking all my boxes as well. So I'm thinking about changing up the selection somewhat. And I've chosen this other painting called Land, which is not part of Painttober. I painted this a couple of years ago, maybe a few years ago, can't exactly remember, but you know, I still have this painting, so that's fine. And this painting was a transitional painting for me from being more of a process painter to more abstract, so more expressionistic abstract. So in this painting there are some process areas and there are some expressionistic areas which I really like. Yeah, so that was my sort of transitional piece, and I've held on to it. I haven't want to get rid of this piece because it's kind of marked a specific point in my journey of painting, which I rather like. But yeah, so this one's called Land, but I was thinking of maybe putting this in the exhibition because I really like this painting. It's got loads of different colours on it, which is, yeah, I really love that. I love that it's got loads and loads of colours. And I think it goes really nicely with the selection. So those other 3 graphic pieces and this, I think they go really nicely colour-wise and tonally. I think they go really well. Is it a bit not graphic enough? Is it more surreal? Is it more just surreal landscape? Is it more abstract? Perhaps it's not graphic enough to fit with these other paintings. I'm not quite sure. It goes really nicely with the Pink Land diptych paintings. But does it go with the other 3? I think it goes, but it's still on the shelf. Right, so there was nothing wrong with that selection as such, but I feel that these 2 pieces go better as graphic pieces. So I'm trying to keep within the more graphic range, and I feel these 2 are working. So this one is called Red, and again that name is going to be changed up a little bit to something else, but I think it's Red Roses perhaps these were. And then this is just called Multicolored, which definitely needs a new name. It could be called Multicolored Aspect maybe, perhaps that might be a name. So with this painting there is more graphic elements to it. I feel there's more shape, there's more line and contrast going on, and I think it fits with the other paintings quite nicely. It is, I feel, still quite surreal. It's definitely an abstract painting, but you can see the landscape elements in it, which is quite nice. You've got some lights and darks there, so there's some quite good tones. And then with this painting I went down a bit of a traditional route of some splatters, some drips, see where they go, see what I can produce with them. And I think it's produced a really nice painting actually. It's quite textured as well. So it's come out quite nice. We've got some lights and darks and things. So there's some good contrasts in there which make it more graphic, I feel. So I think this one fits quite nicely. And that is going to be my final selection, I think, for the exhibition I want to put them in. Now, if I do get into the exhibition, you will hear more about it. If I don't, you probably won't hear anything ever again about it. But the thing with art is that you need to constantly be exhibiting and showing and letting people know what you do and gaining feedback, which is really important, you know, getting feedback about your work. And I would appreciate any feedback that you have on my work and my selection as well. And if you thought one of the other selections was better, please do let me know. There are comments below that you can avail. Well, there's a section and then you can add in comments. And if you're interested in any of the work, please go over to my website, zarinakiani.co.uk, where I have a plethora of paintings for you to look at, enjoy, and if you want to have some, just contact me. Let me know. Bye for now.